was the worst 24 hours of wedding festivity I have ever experienced. I was in a mini dress and heels doing hard labor. I'm not gonna iron anyone's tablecloths unless I'm being paid. Imagine your childhood best friend. You used to play Spice Girls with them and pretend you were one of the Spice Girls. Dig up stuff in your backyard and pretend that it was a fossil. No, that was just me. Okay. Imagine sharing those fond memories with your childhood best friend and you proceed to write online about how her wedding was the worst. What happened here?
It smells smelly.
Let's read the story and see what's going on here. This was posted in Wedding Shaming and the title says, "My childhood best friend's wedding was the worst." They labeled this under tacky without even reading anything. I'm like, wow, that hurts. I wouldn't even know anything about this wedding. And I'm like, wow. You could have chosen disaster, horrible vendors, cringe. Give me cringe, at least. I don't know if you can recover from that label. Can you recover from the tacky label? I don't know. My cat slurping in the back. I was a bridesmaid in my childhood best friend's wedding. I wasn't expecting it to be such a shit show, but it was the worst 24 hours of wedding festivity I have ever experienced. She summarizes it in one sentence. This is the end of the story. I like that she said, I wasn't expecting it to be such a shit show. So her expectations were high, which is a good thing. That's a good friend. She was not a bridezilla at all and let us choose our own dresses and the color she chose. Okay, so she chose the color and you chose the color from the color that she chose, like a sub color. Controlling without being controlling. This could turn around. I'm hopeful now. I have hope.
Don't you dare.
My parents were invited as well as my family, husband and kids, but since we lived 8 hours away, I opted to go with my mom and dad and leave my kids and husband at home. So my dad drove me and dropped me off at a hotel night before the rehearsal and I rode to the venue with another bridesmaid. We were supposed to stay at the venue the night before the wedding since it was about 40 minutes outside of the city in the middle of nowhere. I got to the rehearsal lunch and it was on the lawn outside of the venue and there was a potluck set up. Okay, that's fine. I get that not everyone has a huge budget. Okay, there's a lot of the night before and it's 8 hours and they had to stay at the venue and it was 40 minutes outside the city. A lot of numbers and logistics here. I'm confused right now. So she lived 8 hours away. She got her mom and dad to drop her. It's like a long field trip from school. Okay, she's getting the childhood experience all over again. She's like, husband and kids, you guys stay at home. Go throw up on the floor. Let your dad clean it up. I'm going to this wedding for my childhood friend. And there's a rehearsal dinner. In my culture, we don't do rehearsal dinners. It's just, we're going live.
We'll do it live!
Let's find out what happens. Like High School Musical sort of thing, minus the basketball. We do the rehearsal and eat this weird potluck meal, and then the bride says to all 6 bridesmaids, "Don't forget to make yourself a plate for dinner and go put it in the fridge inside." I was immediately taken aback, but I followed directions without objecting. That night we were supposed to be having her bachelorette party, so I was expecting to go out or at least order in a meal, but instead we had funky potluck leftovers. Okay, fine, whatever. It was one meal, so I moved on. Then we all have to help set up tables outside, and my friend says, "I need you guys to make your bouquets, prepare food for tomorrow, and iron the tablecloths and set up chairs and tables." We spent 6 hours working our asses off, and my back was screaming after ironing these clothes with her sister. Again, I get that budgets can be tight, but there's no warning that we were going to be put to work, and I was in a mini dress and heels doing hard labor and moving furniture. She's really putting these girls to work. She's like, I picked out 6 of you for a reason, for your work ethic. So they are ironing clothes and preparing food, setting up chairs and the tables, and she's in a mini dress and heels. She says doing hard labor. Is this a punishment? She has to do 70 hours of community service. Did she commit a crime? She's not gonna get the vendors. Why would she? They're gonna come to her and it's gonna be free under the guise of friendship. You guys, I love you guys. You mean so much to me. Okay, now go set up that table right there and do the floral arrangement in the middle. Stacy, please, that candle doesn't go there, okay? You should know that. Please. This is the kind of atmosphere I'm imagining for this wedding. But she said she wasn't being a bridezilla, so she probably asked very politely. So she's doing all this in a mini dress and heels. That would have taken me over the edge. Heels? I can't do any of that in heels. I can't even walk in heels, let alone you want me to start ironing clothes. I would have left. I would have made up something. Oh, I have to vacuum my hotel room. I know, they're putting me to work there. Can you believe it? Having me vacuum and do all this hard labor. Isn't that right, Brenda? Her husband-to-be and his white trash friends left right after the rehearsal and stayed in a hotel and got trashed. Not a scrap of help from them. Of course, the husband and his friends, they left right after the rehearsal. They're nowhere to be found. They're not going to associate themselves with that part of the wedding. You know, cleaning up and contributing. No. no. Come 8 p.m., we were all exhausted, but we rallied and ate our crusty potluck food while the 7 of us shared a solitary battle of champagne. Solitary battle? Stop. Why do I feel like this is a battle? What is it, Freudian slip? Come 8 p.m., we were all exhausted, but we rallied and ate our crusty potluck food while the 7 of us shared a solitary bottle of champagne. It was nice to catch up and chat. The morning of the wedding, we all got dressed and did our makeup, and then the other bridesmaids started freaking out because they didn't know how to do their hair, and the bride said we all needed to try to do something with our hair. As a mom of 2 daughters, I stepped in and did the hair of 4 of the bridesmaids and had to scramble to do my own before the ceremony. The bride had a hairstylist and makeup artist come in. If she had offered, I gladly would have paid to have mine done, but it was not an option at that point. So the day of the wedding, the bride's like, you guys need to have your hair done. How are we gonna do this? And as she says that, her hair and makeup walks in. They're like, are you ready for us to do your hair and makeup? She's like, but you guys need to figure that out. Come on, you guys. You should know. You guys can't look like you were just identified by the Scooby-Doo gang, okay? When they pull the little potato sack off, you can't look like that. So the bride has a hairstylist and makeup artist. That's none of their business, though. She has her own thing going on. She's like, you guys battle it out. Just figure it out. She's a mom. She can do everything. She's already doing all that at home anyways. What's the difference if she does it for me, her best childhood friend? The ceremony was fine, but I was just ready to go home. Then we get to the reception. They brought in a barbecue truck to provide the food, which was forgettable, and then they had a bar, but I was told that we had to pay for our drinks. Again, okay, that's fine. I'll buy my own alcohol. Then I see the groomsmen getting progressively more tanked, and they're at the bar every 5 minutes. I asked the bride what was up with that, and she said, oh, new husband paid for his groomsmen to have an open bar. Neat. These dudes were being so nasty, and it was throwing the vibes off massively. The bridesmaids and I danced and enjoyed ourselves as best we could with our self-purchased drinks, and then finally, it is time for the bride and groom to leave. A huge limo rolls up, and the bride is shocked. She says to me, oh my god, my parents said they had a surprise for us. She then informed me that since I had moved away, her parents and dad had become multi-millionaires because they had invested in properties all over town so they could afford the limo. I asked tactfully if they had been the ones who paid for the wedding, and she said, oh yeah, all of it. They are loaded. You could have fooled me. That's actually insane. To admit that after having your friends do all this labor for you, when you could have simply paid for it with your multi-million-dollar parents who have invested in properties all over town. I would rather not have known this information. I would have been pissed. You have me setting up tables and heels in a dress, and then you tell me your parents are millionaires? The bride and groom rode away, and then her parents came up to the wedding party and said, it's time to tear down.
How about new?
No, it's not, Habib. It's your time to tear all this down. Have fun. Find someone in those multiple properties that you own and have them come on over and start tearing this down. It's not gonna be me. Start playing the NSYNC song. It's gonna be me, but say it's not gonna be me. The groomsmen were blitzed and slinking away, and the other bridesmaids and I were so pissed. I finally just said no. I had my parents there at this time, so I hopped in their car and hightailed it out of there. Actually, I respect that. She's really putting the maid and bridesmaids here. It was the worst wedding I have ever been to, and it made me so angry to find out that her parents are loaded and they just didn't feel like paying for their youngest child to have a nice wedding. She's somehow still married to her husband, but I hate him so much. They came to visit my family once years ago, and he kept pulling at my dog's tail, which confirmed my suspicions that he's just an asshole. Anyway, hope you enjoyed this story. It felt good to get it off my chest. Remember, folks, if you can pay for help on a special day, don't be an asshole and cheap out. Anyone who hurts animals or doesn't like animals, red flag. I would not trust that person. I once had someone who's like, oh, I don't like cats. And they don't like you, and there's a reason for that. Cats especially can tell if you're secretly evil. They will know. Don't let the groom see this. Pipsy, watch out. We're in enemy territory. My cats don't like random people just touching them and coming up to them and holding them. Cats don't like that. I especially don't trust people who don't like cats. That's specifically because cats require consent, boundaries, and they need to trust you to be able to show you love. And they show you love in certain ways, right? They're not all over you. Some cats are not like that. Some cats show you love in small ways. She edits in something that says, ETA. Wow, so this blew up. I'll answer some questions here since I can't go through all of the comments. Number 1, no, we aren't really friends anymore. I'd maybe text her on her birthday and say happy birthday, but I don't really keep in touch with her. I fully admit that I was quick to blame her family. I have realized that she was ultimately the one who made the situation awful for her bridesmaids, not her family. Sometimes Reddit is right and I'm wrong. Number 2, pulling my dog's tail was the end of the line for sure. I actually had just had to put my dog down a few weekends ago, and I feel inclined to blame her cancer on her husband. What? Just because. My kids were so shocked when he did it, and he did it multiple times apparently before I saw it, and I was like, stop doing that. Oh, that is so sad. I'm sorry I had to put your dog down. That is terrible. My pets are my children, pretty much. I'm sorry about that. Her parents did not give her the extra money from whatever budget you all think there was. They are literally just cheap as hell. I am not AI. I'm a base. This 2026, you have to be like, this is not AI. I'm not a robot. Now you really can't tell what's AI, what's not. Number 5, I absolutely would have left, except for this wedding was in a rural area, very far from town. My parents drove me to the nearest city and I got a ride to the venue from another bridesmaid. I was stuck there. Also, everyone else was accepting this awful situation, so I figured I could survive 24 hours and then basically not see her again. That is so relatable. Have you ever had a situation where you're with a friend, like you're on a trip with someone and you know it's like the last time you're ever gonna travel with them or ever speak to them again? They're acting terrible towards you or something happened during the trip, but you're kind of stuck in it because you're in France or something. That's what this reminds me of. Like, you just have to accept it and deal with it. You're planning everything, the next steps in your head, like, I'm never gonna speak to her. She's never gonna hear from me. I'm gonna unfollow her on Instagram. But you can't do that. You have to act like everything's okay in the moment because you're 24 hours from home. Number 6, at the potluck, I think I got some very dry mac and cheese, a few crudite veggies. Crudites? What is a crudite vegetable? What is that? I don't know. And a brownie. I stayed away from anything with mayo or meat because I was scared of getting food poisoning and generally hate potlucks. We've done potlucks before, but we know the people. We've been in their home environment. We know that they're clean. We trust how they cook their food. That's when we do potlucks. I don't mind, but for random people that maybe you're not close to, you don't know their home environment, you don't know how clean their kitchen is or if they're using gloves or not, that's when I would be a little on the cautious side with potlucks.
It's fucking
Let's take a look at the comments, shall we? I can't believe she made the bridesmaids do all the work and then the groomsmen get free drinks and you do not. That is so incredibly impolite. The point of contention, I think, was the girls who did the work, were setting up everything, didn't get the open bar, but the groomsmen did. Why not just share with everyone? Why not just say, hey, bridesmaids and groomsmen can have an open bar? Why is it, no, just the groomsmen? I think I could have maybe tolerated most of this, but being ordered to iron tablecloths and move furniture as if I was hired staff would have been my limit. So cheeky. Love that. British, cheeky, right? Cheeky. The Brits say that. Okay. I'm not gonna iron anyone's tablecloths unless I'm being paid and unless I'm a wedding planner suddenly, which I'm not. I would have walked right then. I haven't ironed anything in 40 years. Queen. Good for you. Love that. Not going to start now. She would have had one less bridesmaid. Do you think that they purposely had this event in the middle of nowhere? It's kind of like trapping people, like, now you're stuck here. Start ironing those curtains. It doesn't even take a lot of money to be thoughtful. Yeah. The fact that the bride was stupid enough to tell her guests that the groomsmen got an open bar when the bridesmaids didn't was monumental. Telling her guests that her parents were loaded even tops that. It's like there are things better left unsaid. Things are bad enough. Let's not add on to it. I think that's just a crappy thing to do to people you consider your close friends, close enough that you want them to be your bridesmaids. They're secretly there just to help you set up and do all of this. And then they're probably never going to hear from you after this wedding. And also, my question is, would this bride do the same for her bridesmaids? Like, her bridesmaids were having a wedding. Would she be setting up and dealing with all of this? Steaming the curtains and making floral arrangements? Would she be doing that? I don't know that she would. It is taking advantage of people and taking advantage of their love and care for you. Like, you know that they would go above and beyond for you. Knowing that and then still putting them in that situation in the middle of nowhere. This person drove 8 hours to get to this event and they knew that they were stuck there. And I think that she took advantage of that personally, which I don't think that's being a good friend. What do you guys think about this whole situation? Who do you think was responsible for all this? Was it the bride? Was it the groom? The family? Who do you think is the culprit here? If you were a part of Scooby-Doo's gang, who's being identified? Here, leave your thoughts in the comments and I'll see you in my next video.